Have you ever found yourself stuck when trying to come up with a new idea or solution to a problem? You sit there staring at a blank page or an empty screen, feeling frustrated as your mind goes blank. Maybe you've even wondered, why can't I just come up with something brilliant right now? Well, if that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Hi, I'm Judith Lim, and welcome to this episode where we'll dive into something I'm incredibly passionate about: ideation fluency. If you've ever wanted to know or to become someone who can generate creative, innovative ideas on demand and make problem-solving feel like an exciting challenge rather than a chore, then you're in the right place. Today, we're going to unpack the core principles of ideation fluency. I'll walk you through what it means, why it matters in your personal life and professional life, and how you can start developing this skill right now. And don't worry, we're keeping this fun and relatable. We'll use everyday examples, and by the end of this video, you'll have the tools you can apply immediately to start unlocking your creative potential. But before we jump in, let me just tell you a quick story that illustrates the power of ideation fluency. Picture this. You are hosting a dinner party, and everyone is enjoying themselves when you suddenly realize you forgot dessert. Now, this could easily turn into a stressful moment, right? But instead of panicking, you challenge yourself to get creative. You take a quick inventory of what's in your kitchen: some fruit, a bit of leftover chocolate, a few odds and ends, and within minutes, you've whipped up something that impresses your guests. Now that's ideation fluency at work. It's about thinking on your feet, being resourceful, and using what you have to solve problems creatively. Now, you might be thinking, okay, that's a fun example, but how does this apply to bigger challenges in life or at work? Great question, and that's exactly what we'll explore. First, let's talk about what ideation fluency actually is. In simple terms, ideation fluency is your ability to generate a wide range of ideas quickly and without judgment. Think of it as exercising your brain's creative muscles. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to tap into your creativity on demand. And don't worry, we'll discuss exactly how you can start practicing this skill in a way that feels both fun and rewarding. Why does this matter? Well, we live in a world where the ability to think creatively is more valuable than ever. Whether you're looking to advance in your career, tackle personal projects, or simply feel more confident when faced with challenges, ideation fluency is a game changer. And don't just take my word for it. Science backs this up. Because according to research, individuals who regularly engage in creative thinking exercises are more resilient, adaptable, and successful in solving complex problems. Sounds pretty amazing, right? So then as we continue, I'll share some practical ways to develop your ideation fluency. You'll get to experiment with simple exercises that can drastically change how you approach problems and opportunities. Are you ready? All right, let's dive into the core principles and start your journey to creative mastery. Okay, let's get right to the heart of it. The first core principle of ideation fluency: quantity leads to quality. It may sound it's counterintuitive at first, but let me explain. One of the biggest myths about creativity is that only a few brilliant ideas matter. But the truth is, the more ideas you generate, the more likely you are to land on that game-changing concept. Creativity is like panning for gold. Miners sift through a ton of rock before they get precious nuggets. In the same way, the more ideas you come up with, the greater your chances of discovering something truly valuable. The key here is to let go of perfectionism and allow yourself to brainstorm freely, even if some ideas seem silly or impractical at first. This concept was famously embraced by the inventor Thomas Edison. Did you know that he had over 1,000 patents in his lifetime? I mean, that's crazy. Edison didn't just wait for a single brilliant idea to strike. He kept experimenting and iterating, and that relentless generation of ideas led to some of the most groundbreaking inventions of his era. So if it worked for Edison, there's something to it. I definitely think so. So let's make this practical. Here's an exercise to get your creativity flowing. I call it the 10 Ideas in 10 Minutes Challenge. The goal is to choose a problem that you're facing, whether it's at work, a personal goal, or even something as simple as planning your weekend. All you have to do is write down 10 ideas to solve within just 10 minutes. No idea is off limits, and there's no judgment. The only rule is to keep writing. Trust me, this exercise is powerful. It pushes your brain to move past the obvious surface level ideas and dig deep. You might even surprise yourself with what you come up with. Let's say you're stuck on a project at work. Maybe you need to brainstorm marketing strategies for a new product launch. The first few ideas that come to mind, they might feel a bit generic, but as you push yourself to come up with more, you'll often find that the most creative solutions appear when you're forced to keep going. That's the magic of pushing for quantity. It breaks through creative blocks and uncovers unexpected gems. Take a moment to try this exercise. Grab a piece of paper or open up a blank document and give yourself just 10 minutes. Set a timer and write down every idea that comes to mind. Remember, the goal isn't to be perfect. It is to be prolific. So if you feel stuck, that's perfectly normal. Just keep on going. Don't censor yourself. And hey, if one of the ideas happens to be invent a teleportation device, that's okay too. You never know. Maybe someone else has the same idea and is working on it as we speak. Coming up, we're going to dive into another crucial aspect of ideation fluency. So you're going to want to stick around because we'll talk about the importance of deferred judgment. This is all about creating a safe space for your ideas to breathe and evolve without criticism getting in the way. You'll learn how to silence that inner critic and boost your creative output. So stay with me, all right, guys? Okay. So let's dive into the next key principle: deferred judgment. This principle is all about giving your ideas the space they need to grow and evolve without immediate criticism or judgment. One of the biggest creativity killers is that inner critic, that voice in your head that says, "This idea is ridiculous," or "This idea will never work." When you're brainstorming, it's crucial to suspend judgment and create an environment where every idea is welcomed, no matter how outlandish it may seem. Just think of your creative process as planting seeds. If you judge or discard your ideas too soon, you'll never give them a chance to develop into something extraordinary. So during your ideation phase, your mantra should be, "All ideas are good ideas for now." One of my favorite techniques is to practice deferred judgment. And yes, this concept comes from improv comedy, where every idea is accepted and built upon. Here's how it works. Instead of shutting down the idea, you respond with "yes and then add to it." This simple shift in language keeps the creative energy flowing and can lead to surprisingly innovative solutions. So for example, let's say someone suggests, "Let's market our product by creating a giant inflatable version of it and floating it down the river." Your first instinct might be to say, "That's ridiculous." But using "yes and," you might continue with "Yes, and we could film it and turn it into a viral marketing campaign." So by allowing ideas to build on each other, you create a space where creativity thrives. All right, so let's talk about why this works when you actually defer judgment. Well, it's because you engaged a different part of your brain, the part that's open to possibilities and connections. This leads to more innovative thinking and keeps you from getting stuck in the same old patterns. I mean, it's only after you've generated a wide range of ideas that you can start evaluating and refining them. So, we're going to evaluate those ideas effectively and turn your best concepts into actionable plans. And that's where we're going to move from creative thinking to strategic execution. So stick around and learn how to make your ideas a reality. All right. Now that you've generated a wide range of ideas and embrace the principle of deferred judgment, it's time to move on to evaluating and refining those ideas. All right, ready guys? Now we're going to make a shift because we're going to shift from creative thinking to strategic execution. But how do you know which ideas are worth pursuing and which ones should be set aside? First, it's important to remember that not every idea needs to be a home run. Some ideas may just serve as a stepping stone, leading to more refined or innovative concepts. Start by looking at your list of ideas and asking 3 questions. Is it feasible? Is it impactful? And does it align with my goals or vision? These questions help you narrow down your options and focus on the ideas with the greatest potential. Okay, let's break this down even further. Feasibility refers to whether the idea is practical given the resources and constraints you've got. If you're working on a limited budget or with a tight timeline, some ideas might just be too ambitious. Impact considers the potential effect of the idea. How much value will it bring to your project, your audience, or your goals? Finally, alignment ensures that your idea is consistent with your long-term vision or objectives. Here is a simple framework that you can use. Create a matrix with feasibility on one axis and impact on the other. Plot your ideas on this matrix to visually prioritize which ones are worth pursuing immediately and which might need more time or resources to develop. Ideas that are both high impact and high feasible are your winners. Those that are high impact but low feasibility might be worth revisiting later. So as you evaluate your ideas, don't be afraid to ask for feedback from trusted colleagues or mentors. Sometimes a fresh perspective can help you see the potential or the flaws in an idea. And remember, this process is about refinement, not perfection. Because even the best ideas may need some tweaking to become truly actionable. All right, guys, up next, we're going to discuss how to bring your refined ideas to life and how to maintain your creative momentum over the long term. So this is where your hard work pays off. So get ready to take some action and let's keep that creativity flowing. So we've reached what I call the final step, bringing your ideas to life. This is where you turn all of that brainstorming refinement into real, actionable plans. It's one thing to have a list of brilliant ideas, but it's another thing to actually execute them effectively. So, how do you maintain your creative momentum and ensure your ideas don't just stay on paper? Well, first, you start by breaking down your chosen idea into smaller, manageable steps. Think of it like building a house. You wouldn't start by putting up the walls without laying the foundation first. So create a simple action plan and clear milestones and deadlines. This not only makes the process less overwhelming, but also gives you a roadmap to follow. Next, make sure you schedule regular check-ins with yourself or your team to assess your progress. Are you moving forward as planned? Do you need to adjust your approach? This level of accountability keeps you on track and allows you to pivot if necessary. Remember, flexibility is key in the creative process. One of the best ways to sustain your creative energy is to celebrate small wins along the way. Did you complete the first draft of a big project? Celebrate that. Did you come up with a unique marketing angle that you're excited about? Take a moment to acknowledge your achievement. These small celebrations keep your motivation high and remind you of the progress you're making. And finally, keep feeding your creative mind. Read books, have conversations with inspiring people, or take breaks to reset your thinking. Creativity is like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. Keep experimenting, keep refining, and most importantly, keep having fun with it. If you found value in this video, there's so much more I'd love to share with you. So let's all keep the creative momentum going. Consider subscribing to my newsletter. I'll leave it in the link below. You'll get exclusive insights and tools to keep leveling up your ideation skills. And of course, if you've enjoyed today's content, make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel for more weekly inspiration and strategies. Stay creative, take action, and make your mark. I'll see you next time.